The funny thing was, before we started the auditions, I knew a guy called Ian Gillan, and I sent out word to ask him if he'd be interested, and he wasn't interested. He said, "You never get anywhere." So it's kind of comical, well, ironic, you know, that he ended up getting the job anyway. The other guys had never heard of him.
We started in '68, Jon Lord and myself, and we put the band together. And I don't think we quite knew what direction that we had, and we kind of flim-flammed around in certain areas.
I think the first album was a recording of everything we'd learned. I don't think we had anything else. I think that was it.
Yeah, everybody was fine. They all seemed pretty level-headed guys, and none of the problems usually associated with people having to rub along together. You know, we all seemed to be striving for the same ideal, which was to create something new, something different.
It was Ritchie that basically said, Rod's a very average singer and Nicky's a great rock and roll bass player, but that's not where we're going.
The limitations of Rod's voice for where the music was starting to get pushed was starting to show.
We were just floundering.
They were desperate for a really, really outstanding lead singer.
And it was just another changeover, it was another move, but this time it was a bit special. And
Part 2 was the best lineup musically, without a doubt.
Jon was a great musician and Ian was just an exceptional drummer.
Roger is a very talented writer.
Ian Gillan was the kind of guy you'd see down the pub, you know, having a beer, having a punch-up.
But what Ritchie did was different from anybody else, and that made it special.
It's pretty simple. Deep Purple were better than everybody else.
it was such a violently out of control sound. The nastier you played, the better it sounded.
Yeah, they played loud.
It was amazing. It was an incredible feeling to be that popular.
We've been stung by customs and excise for not paying tax on some records.
We had discounts, we had bootlegs. I think that's how Virgin started. And bootleg albums, of course, were cheap, but we did have a go at Virgin.
My manager called me and said, "Hey, I'm down here with the band and there's this problem with Ritchie can't play. Would you be willing to come down and you know, cover for him and sit in?" And you know, I was like freaked out.
Ecco a voi i Deep Purple.
Smash your way through the stomach, out with axes.
Suddenly there's an almighty crash and an axe came through my door.
There certainly was a riot over insufficient tickets.
Deep Purple in rock was such a huge hit, and all of a sudden we were big.
Deep Purple in rock was a big hit, but Superstar was even bigger.
And you know, the coolest thing about this is it did happen.